welcome. Have a seat. Welcome to your weekly astrology and tarot horoscope with me. Grab some coffee. There's tea. There's cocoa powder. 𝚘𝚘𝚘, which is the 𝚘𝚘𝚘 effect origination. Little digression. Wearing the mom pants today, and it feels amazing. I hope you guys are also feeling amazing. Let's go ahead and dive in to the astrology. We are building up basically towards the full moon on Saturday, September the 10th. And basically, this is one that is closing up not just 2 weeks, but I have the full moon up here at over here. So this has been building up for the past 6 months when we had the huge Pisces party in March. So, you know, this is where we get the result, and we get the, not just the result, but it's like the fullness sort of gets to pour out. So it's like filling a big water tank for the past 6 months, and then this is when it's like the floodgates just get released. So let us start. Mother of pearl. Okay, let's start with, no, I want a different color. All right, let's back this up just a wee bit, and we're going to start with Monday, September the 5th. All right, my timestamps down here. Okay, we're going to start with Monday the 5th. We've got the moon in Capricorn squaring Mercury in Libra. We also have that same moon in Capricorn trining over to the sun, as well as squaring Jupiter retrograding in the sign of Aries. Now, this is sort of interesting because you're coming out of a weekend where there was a huge vibe shift, okay? We had the Mars shadow start on Saturday. That was with the quarter moon in Sagittarius, and that was an active quarter moon. Like, you had to do something, you had to take action, you had to push through an obstacle. And you know, the Sagittarius quarter moon, we had the eclipses in Gemini Sagittarius last year in 2020, and so that change for some of you could have also been because of having to change your perspective, having to change your mind, or based on new information. You were challenged to sort of see the big picture and act from that point, from that perspective. So, you know, there could have been things that got blown out of proportion. For me, it was absolutely magical because what got blown out of proportion was I got so many good stories from my grandmother. It was such a nice time, and so it was really, really lovely. But then we also had that Mars entering the shadow. So from Saturday the 3rd of September until October the 30th, right up to Halloween, is the first pass, let's say. Then Mars is going to go back over all of that, and they're going to go forward again to do it differently. So not just that, but on Sunday we had the moon trining Venus in fire signs, and then they both moved together in earth signs, and that's when we had the moon in Capricorn trining over to the Venus. Venus was also in fire sign Leo, moving into earth sign Virgo. So, you know, late Sunday night, some things are already starting to come together. So by the time you get to Monday, you have a little bit of a T-square happening. Okay, so that moon in Capricorn is T-squaring essentially the Jupiter-Mercury opposition from the Libra-Aries axis. So, you know, this moon in Capricorn is under a little bit of pressure and stress, and you could feel on Monday like you really have to sort of just get it done. Like, even if you have big ideas and new revelations and ideas for relationships you want to implement, ideas for business, or anything at all, anything you want to start, because it's cardinal energy here. You're very motivated and you really are feeling like you got to take it very seriously. So you may start getting to work. You might start doing the research. You might start putting the plan together on Monday. And it'll be because of that pressure of maybe what came through the end of last week that's when that aspect perfected on Friday with the Mercury-Jupiter opposition. So Monday the 5th, the Capricorn moon is activating that. It's sort of like, and, you know, pushing you to build for the future, to build for that long-term get for yourself. So with the moon in Capricorn, it's very sober, it's very realistic, and it's something that is really worth it to you, because that's just Capricorn. You know, it's just, if it's not worth it, you know, it's not really that important. So, you know, What I love about Monday, though, is that you have that moon in Capricorn trining over to the sun in Virgo. So while there is this T-square energy, you know, it's stressful. It's going to put some pressure on that moon in Capricorn, and wherever the Capricorn area of life is for you, you're gonna have to maybe do something or act or commit, or, you know, want to get at least something started there, some development there. But that trine over to the sun is telling me that you are feeling like your purpose and your goals are aligning with your, sorry, I'm trying to put this word, it's not going to get roughly with this, that your goals are in alignment with what you feel is realistic, what you can expect. You definitely are not feeling like you're chasing false rainbows. You're feeling like I've got a plan, or you're putting together the plan, or you've got this outlook that is just really, it's really practical. Like, even if it's a lot of work ahead of you, which, by the way, Saturn being in the sign of Aquarius, you know, until March of next year, you should start to see some results from the hard work in the Aquarian area of your life. But anyway, it's doing a little bit of dispositor stuff here. But, you know, that trine over to the sun, it's really practical. It's really down to earth. And especially with Venus now being in the sign of Virgo, we just don't want something that doesn't make sense. You know, it's, you know, the fun frivolousness is the fire sign energy. So now that we're getting into like the harvesting season with the fall, and, you know, with Venus being in Virgo now, it's more we're going to get pleasure, we're going to get enjoyment, we're going to feel better when things make sense. We're going to feel better when things just are taken care of, when things are organized. So it's going to be the time when, if you were comfortable, like, not looking at your finances, not looking at your incoming or your outgoing and the debt, and you were just like, you know, la 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 about it, that's not going to feel good anymore. It's just not. You're going to feel better when it's like doing the taxes, when people put off doing the taxes, and it's like, you think it feels good because you're not dealing with it, you're putting it off, you know, just sort of hands over with the monkeys, with the, you know, and then what's going to really make you feel better is when it's done, when you've taken care of it. So that's kind of what this Venus in Virgo is going to be. You're just going to feel better when it makes sense, when it's taken care of. So do your lists, make epic lists, and any preparedness is going to make you feel way better than just ignoring it or putting it off to have fun. We're getting into serious season here. So Monday's pretty serious, but you're going to feel better. You're going to feel better when it's all taken care of. So that's pretty much Monday. And like I said, with that T-square, this could also be calling in some of the energy of last week, as that opposition between Mercury and Jupiter was coming into perfection. This Monday energy with the stress on that Capricorn moon, circumstances are probably going to change, and you may have some agency. You may have less agency or more agency. It's going to depend on your personal chart, but you are going to have to sort of pay on that promise where, you know, if anyone was talking a big talk, this is going to be maybe when they're challenged to walk it, essentially. So, you know, if anyone was sort of over-promising or blowing something out of proportion or overreacting, that Monday energy is like sobering, and it's like, okay, let's see it then. Prove it. Prove it. Let's see. Let's see it. Walk it. So I actually kind of like Monday, but I am very Saturnian ruled, so of course I would. Tuesday, the 6th of September, we have the moon in Capricorn now trining over to Uranus in Taurus. That here, Uranus in Taurus, and also going to be passing Pluto. Boom. So look at that. Moon coming into that conjunction, applying to Pluto, but then also trining that Uranus energy. This is going to be featured at the full moon at the end of the week, because it's going to be that full moon in Pisces is actually going to be sextiling that Taurus stuff. So think back to the triple conjunction of Mars, Uranus, the North Node in Taurus. I think that August the 1st, this is going to really make that feel a lot better. And with this mutable energy, it's going to be easier to adjust. And I'll talk about it when we get there, but you know, just keep that in mind, that it's gonna get smoother for you. It's not gonna feel so traumatic. Okay, so the moon crossing Pluto and then trining over to this very same Uranus and Taurus tells me that we're going to be very comfortable with the changes that are happening. We're going to be very comfortable, not only very realistic, but we're looking forward to the transformations that are taking place because it's liberating. Something about us is getting to be freed. Okay, something gets to finally express itself. We get independence, we get freedom, we get autonomy, we get a sense of satisfaction because of our own internal validation, first of all, but that validation coming from owning our transformations, owning our transitions, owning our developments. So there could be some catalysts for change happening on Tuesday that's going to help push you in the direction of freedom and greater happiness, greater enjoyment. That was really intense, wasn't it? The 1st of August. That was like, you know, the end of July, actually, yeah, the end of July, building towards that. And then even like going into August, it was very vivid. You know, these are very wild energies. Mars is just like, I will burn the village down. I want to get what I want. The motivation. The North Node is a very wild energy that just is this hunger and this big attraction energy. You're just really pulled towards it through curiosity or lustiness, any kind of attraction. It's like a soul attraction. And then Uranus is that mad scientist that is compulsive towards learning and growth and changing of behavior, elevation. It's that octave energy. And even the orbit of Uranus is very strange. The orbit of Uranus, it doesn't just spin like a freaking planet. It's really weird. It's really, really Iranian and just very odd and strange. So that is where you will, when you let your freak flag fly, is really wherever that Taurus area is, it's just really trying to break out. So I love to see this moon trining over because emotionally, any kind of circumstances that are continuing to change and develop, first of all, crossing over Pluto, that is like irreversible. You're never going back. You cannot go back to that level of consciousness previously. So that's happening. And then in that trine to Uranus, it's liberation. You're going to feel better. You're going to feel way better. The pressure is off. You're different. So you don't even perceive, maybe you don't even perceive something that felt like a pressure. You don't even feel like it's a pressure anymore because you're not in that consciousness anymore. So you're in a different state of consciousness. You're different. And so you look at that thing differently. Maybe it's not as bad as you thought it was. Maybe it's not even as pressure or burdensome as you thought it was. And you know, it depends on how you use this energy. All of this is energy for you to use or abuse. Okay, so it's a total free will thing. But you know, when you have something happening to you, that's still a subconscious desire for that trigger, that catalyst for change so that you can grow. So even if you're not doing it consciously, when things are happening to you and you're responding to life and things feel very faded and outside of your control, that's how it's manifesting. The same change that wants to happen, whereas when you're in a conscious, aware, self-responsible consciousness and attitude and perspective, then you're able to use the astrology that much more. So even using astrology at different levels of consciousness, maybe you're at a consciousness where you're really nervous and you're really anxious and you just very disempowered, and you look to astrology to try to figure out, you know, what's going on, what you can do. Well, you're still only going to see astrology and these transits through that lens of nervousness, anxiety, maybe, I don't know, negativity or sarcasm, or everything sucks, everything, you know. So you can read it, whatever you read into the astrology, that's what you are. You're projecting into it. So like I've said before, I don't think my global predictions are that great because I'm so idealistic. So when I talk about the astrology, it's always from very, very idealistic, very, you know, Venus and Sag, and it's conjunct the galactic center. I just, you know, so that's just, so just keep that in mind, because some people with this Capricorn moon, it's fucking morbid. Okay, this is very dark. It could be very dark. It could be, for some people, this moon in Capricorn crossing Pluto and trining Uranus is going to be traumatic. It's going to be dark. It's going to be activating anything kind of under the surface where it's, you know, if you're in a conversation with someone and you can tell that they're not real happy for you, or you can tell that they're, you know, resistant to some idea, you're going to feel that it's going to be under the surface, and they're going to go home and they're going to have some tweaking out. You're coming with them with something that they didn't expect, with that Uranus energy, and maybe if they don't want to grow, they're very resistant to change. There's going to be something brewing, and you're going to feel like things are a little bit more serious, or there's something underhanded, or there's something, a little bit manipulative even, perhaps. So, follow your intuition, listen to your intuition, don't gaslight yourself, act on your intuition, and that result will tell you if your intuition is correctly informed, if you're really sharp, or if it's showing you a blind spot. And you've got to correct that intuition. It doesn't mean don't listen to your intuition. It means correct the blind spot, or correct the pollution of that intuition. So, that Tuesday, I really like it. I think it's going to be great. Having that attitude, that healthy perspective, that correct mindset is going to make all of the difference in the world, as it always is and does. Okay. So go with the flow Tuesday, whatever kind of comes up that's very shocking or surprising. Pivot. Let yourself pivot and go on that. Don't feel like you have to have all of the answers or have to have everything figured out, because that's not how growth usually works. You can grow in a state of, sadness and lack and depression and pain, because pain is supposed to be the greatest teacher for us. But if you don't want to grow, people will stay in the victim mindset. But you can also grow and evolve in a state of happiness and joy and love. Okay, so it's like, free will above everything. Wednesday, September the 7th, we've got the moon basically in Aquarius all day. That moon in Aquarius is going to sextile Jupiter retrograding in Aries, I almost said Pisces, trining over to Mercury in Libra, and then trining over, is that a grand trine? Is that going to be a grand air trine? Let's see, 9 degrees, yes. Oh, wow, that'll be very nice. So the moon's actually Wednesday's going to be nice. Wednesday, the moon is going to have this grand air trine with Mars and Mercury. So that could be very social. That could be extremely communicative. That could be the day where you rally the troops together, where you have some very big discussions, or you're making some very big plans, you're making some great negotiations, or you're just like connecting, people in your network and finding your tribe. This Saturn in Aquarius since March 2020, Saturn dipped their crone toe into the airy waters of Aquarius and then dipped back out. So really, since March 2020 has been stress testing your friends, groups, associations, your tribes, your families, your work situations, your companies, any groups of people, for professional reasons, for personal reasons, for private reasons, has been stress testing where you belong, where you feel like you belong, the people that support you, the people that want to see you do well, the people that can be happy for you. Stress testing families, companies, corporations, friend groups, collaborations, artistic collaborations, all of that. So, like I said, you should start to be seeing some of the benefit, but it's going to continue to March 2023. Okay, so so that's some more depositor stuff. So the grand air trine happening here is telling me that, circumstances may be changing on a very verbal level or an intellectual level. So you may be getting some great ideas from people that you're connecting with and people that you're talking with. It's a very nice, buzzy type of energy. So, great ideas can come through. You can have some great insights, some great conversations, very motivating. So I like Wednesday. Wednesday looks cool. Thursday, September the 8th, we've got the moon in Aquarius. It's now going to square over to that Uranus and Taurus conjuncting Saturn. And then we also have the sun in Virgo trining over to the north node in Taurus. So let's talk about the moon first. So the moon in Aquarius squaring over to that, the moon conjuncting Saturn squaring Uranus and Taurus. That is going to help us feel and address. So there could be circumstances and situations and relationship stuff, anything coming up in the Aquarian area of life that reminds you that you've got to wrap things up, before you can go have fun in the Uranus and Taurus like energy. So you're trying to liberate yourself from something, but this Saturn in Aquarius is saying all of 2021, and then really hugely the fall of this year, like October, November, we're going to be in a totally different stratosphere. Saturn in Aquarius is saying you have to wrap up this stuff first. You have to close this out. So it could take a long time for it to close out, especially with the Mars and this retrograde with Gemini. Like this can take, you know, some months to really work itself out, come to resolutions. You know, it's almost like getting a divorce and then like organizing how you're gonna, like, you were enmeshed, you were super enmeshed, and then Jesus, one by one, taking apart all of these little spokes and these little threads, and like that. So that's what's happening in the Aquarius area of your life, where if you have been, honestly, you guys, as a Saturn ruled person, you really want to work with Saturn. Now, in my personal chart, I've looked at like my blessings and all of the greatest things that have happened to me and all of the wonderful things. And I'm looking, what did it? So I can track it for the future and see, you know, when I can expect that to keep happening in my life. And it's always been Saturn. Believe it or not, it's always been Saturn that has given me things, that has benefited me. And you'll watch and hear astrologers talk about Saturn as like the freaking boogeyman, that it's like a malefic and it's very dark and depressing and it's like all these things. But I mean, I have a stellium in Capricorn. I have a very Saturn ruled chart. I have my sun in Capricorn, my moon in Aquarius. So it's like very, very Saturn. So it's a little bit, everyone's chart is very different. So, but what I will say is that the way Saturn works is the same in everyone's life. It's showing you where when you put in the work, you get benefits that will last 30 years, 60 years, the rest of your life. And you get integrity, you get self-respect, you get a stronger character. I mean, I can go on and on about Saturn, but you know, this moon crossing Saturn, you might feel like things are a little bit heavy. You might feel like, I just want to be free of this. I just want to let it go. I don't want to deal with this anymore. It's too hard. You might be feeling, this is too hard. I want to give it up. I want to let it go. It's too hard. It's too heavy. It's too heavy. So with Saturn, the pressure is on you. Okay, wherever this Aquarius area of your life is, the pressure's on, but it's supposed to push out a diamond. Okay, you're supposed to lay the golden egg, but not everyone does it. Not everyone can do it. Not everyone learns through Saturn ways. And so let's go in that direction. So if someone can't do it, or they can't do it right now, or it's too hard, then that pressure, it's like they buckle under the pressure, they crumble, they fall apart, they fall to itty bitty little pieces. And that's not even like a negative thing. You need to, if you need to have a breakdown, if you need to cry, if you need to give up, if you need to quit everything, if you need to just go let that happen, I have a technique to deal with that. It's the vlog, How to Heal and Move On. But that's not what decides your fate or your destiny. It's what you do after that. It's how long you let that last. It's the boundary you put on your own feelings of how long you're going to let that last. So let yourself be sad or depressed or give up. And then how long is that going to last? Are you going to tell yourself, I'm going to let myself be depressed and just lay in bed for 24 hours? But after that 24th hour, :01, I am going to XYZ. So, you know, this Saturn energy, it's not like you're supposed to be perfect. It's not like you're supposed to just like do everything perfectly the first time, the next time, and every time thereafter. That's not the point. The point is to be strong and to build up strength and resilience and determination and self-respect and dignity, integrity. That's what integrity, the definition of integrity is whole, is when all of the working parts, all of the disparate pieces are together, a unit. That's why Saturn going through the sign of Aquarius is stress testing these relationships. Can all these separate people in the family unite and be strong together, full of integrity and be whole, or not? Is there a weak link? I told you guys when I worked with the camera shop, I had a very, I guess nowadays people would call it like abusive or borderline abusive. He'd throw things a lot at me, very like an Alec Baldwin type of guy. He's an Aries, actually he's an Aries too. I mean, I remember ducking from DVDs and camera film boxes and all this stuff. And, you know, I remember he was giving this big dramatic talk because Christmas is always hectic, and I was the Photoshop maven. I mean, I was doing all the photo restorations, all of the shoebox scanning is what we call it. People bring in 250 pictures in a shoebox, and I would scan them in, crop them, color correct them, all this stuff. And, you know, he was complaining about turnaround times and all this stuff. And I had been begging for a Mac computer for the office, for the store, for like ever. And he was in this meeting, and it was really a stupid little meeting that could have been like an email. But, you know, he was going on, and I said, well, you know, Mike, I'm only as fast as your slowest machine. His mouth dropped, and then it closed. He asked me, who signs your checks? I said, your wife. Because that's the truth. It was him and his wife. His wife would sign my check. So, you know, where was I going with this? Oh, yeah. So the weakest link. So you're only as your group, your family, your company, if you're a small business owner, your staff, it's only as strong as the weakest link. You remember that. So ideally, just like when we have like a Mercury retrograde, which we're also building towards, if you're doing anything, you want to have a person on your team, maybe ideally the person in charge of it, who's born with Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrogrades 3 to 4 times a year. It's not that uncommon. It's actually the most common thing to be born with retrograde. Actually, maybe not. I don't know that for sure, but I think it is. So don't quote me on that. I have not done the research, but I think it is. So, you know, that having that person on the team to do something that is born with Mercury retrograde, that's going to work better for them. So you want to like ride on that good energy. So likewise, if anyone's in charge of other people, or if anyone, you know, in the family, it's the Saturn people, the Capricorn, Aquarian people that are going to do the best to keep the integrity, to keep it whole, if they are in a positive state of consciousness, if they're aware, if they care. Okay, Aquarian energy could just be like, I don't fucking care. So can Capricorn. Capricorn and Aquarius, I mean, it's icy. Like Saturn is kind of icy. It can go frigid. It can go cold. It could just disconnect. So it's you know, this pressure, this stress, this, you know, all of that, especially stress testing groups of people, and also online stuff. So any online communities or forums that you're a part of, or group, all of that stuff. So you know, at least that first year of Saturn in Aquarius, actually, you know, that later in December of 2020, Saturn re-entered Aquarius with Jupiter. That was amazing. That first full year, we had Jupiter in freaking Aquarius with Saturn in Aquarius. So we don't have that anymore. We haven't had that. So, you know, it's like, it didn't hit everyone right away, the hard part of it. So, you know, it's going to be kind of, you're getting results, you're getting positive headway now, but now until March, there's still going to be a lot changing, and it should be beneficial. It should be really beneficial. So, you know, the moon crossing Saturn in Aquarius, your circumstances could change. You're going to see more of maybe how hard something feels for you, or watch your people, watch your group. If you're the head of a family, if you're a patriarch, if you're a matriarch, if you are a business owner, if you're a leader in any way, shape, or form in your life, keep an eye on all your people. Take care of everybody. Be the support. Be the coach. Be the good leader. Be a responsible leader. Okay? Be upright. Be full of integrity. Be patient. Be kind. Saturn energy can be real. Saturn, the higher octave is going to be that tough love, where, you know, I'm cutting this off because it's time for you to learn how to do it yourself. I can't coddle you anymore. It's not helping you. For me to coddle you, it's not helping you. I know you feel like I'm cruel, I'm bad, I'm mean, but no, it's because I love you. You have to learn this on your own. That's part of the stress testing, because we're going to have victims too. Victim mentality people that are just going to, project onto anyone who's kind of being like that. Like, oh, you're mean, you're so mean, you're so, and it's like, well, all right, okay. Good luck. Bye. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. Okay. So, moon crossing Saturn, everyone's going to feel kind of, now you could also feel very responsible. So if you haven't been addressing these changes, and if you haven't been trying really hard, this could come up where, especially in the square to Uranus, it could come up where it's like, God, I gotta do this. I gotta do the taxes. I gotta fill out the forms. I have to send in the paperwork. It's not gonna be anything you wanna do. It's not gonna be something you want to face, but it's gonna be what you need to face. It's gonna be what you need to do. Just take care of it. Just get it done. Just do it. You will feel better. But in that square to Uranus and Taurus, you'd rather skip out. There could, depending on what side gets kind of more attention for you in your life, you might feel more of the Saturn in Aquarius, where it's like, I have to say no to this new thing developing in my life because I'm being drawn to this responsibility thing, or this, or you could be feeling the square to Uranus and Taurus way more, where you're like, fuck you, I'm out of here. You might be like, this is not my responsibility. And you might let go of a responsibility. You might, say, I'm not picking up your kid after school anymore for free. This is domestic labor that you're getting for free. And you're not appreciating it. You haven't even offered to bake me a fucking cake or drop off some fucking pie. And I'm picking up your kid every day. It's like, oh, no. You can figure it out. You're not appreciative. You're not thankful. You're not grateful. So, okay, bye. That's not even my job. It's not even my responsibility. I was trying to help you. I was trying to be a support system to you. So you could be it just depends. Everyone's going to be different. Depends on what's, but Saturn is boundaries. Saturn is having good boundaries, but not just with other people, with yourself. So don't let yourself get all self-sorry. Don't be in victim consciousness and mentality. If you can't hold back the tears, if you can't hold back the frustration and the victim stuff, and you need to feel sad about something, absolutely let that happen. Watch a sad movie and let yourself cry it out. But then at the end of the movie, okay, I let this feeling up to go out. Watch my vlog, How to Heal and Move On. Now I'm gonna pick up these pieces, and I'm gonna do what's really, really good for me, which is taking care of stuff, taking care of all of the things, and taking responsibility. Oh, also on Thursday, we have that sun in Virgo. I talk long about that. It's like a mini sermon. Okay, so we have the moon in Virgo trining. Oh my God, it's the same day that moon in Virgo is trining over to the North Node in Taurus. Okay, so I kind of take a little bit of that back because of the sun trining over to this beautiful Uranian energy. It probably will be more on the side of letting go of some responsibility that's not yours. And listen, like the example, if I got my kid in daycare and you got your kid in daycare and you work late and it's easier for me to just grab your kid with my kid, okay, whatever. But this is more like, this really isn't my responsibility, and this is taking on way more, and it's whatever that is. So you might check yourself. You might really feel like, ooh, I need to respect my own boundary, because when you don't, resentment builds. If I'm picking up my kid and your kid, and you're like lying to me about why you need me to pick up your kid, and you're out, I don't know, gallivanting with some married person, and you're using me and my kindness to, you're exporting your domestic labor to me, that's on me to put up the boundary with you. Say, I don't want to play. I don't want any of this bullshit. No. Boundary. But if I don't say anything, then it's my fault. I am betraying a boundary with myself. and then resentment builds in that relationship, whether this is your sister, your friend, your whomever. This is just an example, of course. You're going to have different areas of life that this is all activating in. Resentment builds, and then it starts to really put stress on that relationship. And that's what Saturn's been doing since March 2020 in the Aquarian area of your life. Even more so this year, especially with the end of July, beginning of August. So this Sun in Virgo trining over to Uranus is saying, I'm going to make this new thing work. I'm going to get this new thing off the ground. I'm going to put my lists together. I'm going to figure this out where I don't even need anything to do with that Saturn in Aquarius. And that's what Saturn wants. Saturn wants you to be self-sufficient. So I really like that Sun trining to the North Node. You see where the future is for you, and you're able to take some steps to change the circumstances of your situation. And they might be changing already, but you might actually have to answer to something on Thursday. There could also be something opening up with a goal of yours. Like if you have any goals related to this Taurus area of your life where you want to just feel better, you want to feel liberated, you want to feel free, you want to feel like you can feel any emotion that you want, where you're not feeling guilty or resentful or tied down, that Sun in Virgo is showing you a way for that to happen. Maybe giving you a new goal, or maybe developing something that you've already been working on. So pay attention to see what comes up Thursday, because that's going to give you like a really good indication of how things are really changing for you. Okay, September the 9th. Ooh, okay, so we also have on Friday, this is Mercury stationing retrograde. I wrote that wrong. Mercury stationing retrograde at 8 degrees of Libra, and they will station direct on the 1st of October at 24 degrees of Virgo. So watch my Mercury retrograde for all zodiac signs. I did that. It's pinned on the page on the YouTube. Also, we have that moon now in Pisces opposing that Venus in Virgo and squaring Mars in Gemini. Where is it? Here we go. I wish this could zoom in even more. Well, you can see it. Okay. Moon in Pisces going to be opposing that Venus in Virgo and then squaring over to Gemini, that Mars in Gemini T-square energy, on the day that Mercury stations retrograde. Well, this is mutable. This is very mutable, which means that this is about flexibility, about making changes. Now, I can see that people are going to feel like they just want to evade, escape. They just want to like not deal with it. I can totally see that. That's like the downside or the shadow side of mutable energy, where you just escape instead of confronting things, instead of like just dealing with it. Because it's about change. It's about maneuvering. It's about a transition between one season. This is September, this is Virgo season, is transitioning from summer to fall. Okay, it's not just like a harsh click or a harsh switch. It's about let's transition. But people usually feel very uncomfortable in transitions. People feel usually feel very uncomfortable not knowing how something's going to wrap up, not knowing how something else is going to take form, and they feel it more like limbo. But this is where faith and belief come into play, and confidence in yourself, in your own skills, talents, and abilities, in your own mental strength, and in your own destiny. So, anxiety always comes down to what you really believe. Because when you really believe, when you really have faith, you feel relaxed. You don't worry. You take care of everything that is within your power to take care of. You work on yourself, and you let other people work on themselves, and you let the chips fall where they may. You honor your heart. You do what feels right for you. You respect everyone else for doing the same, and you let the chips fall where they may. Because you can't control anyone else. So if someone else is acting whack and this and that, you can't do anything about it. So you just let it go. But because you have the faith and the belief that it must be the right thing, then you relax. You just... So this moon in Pisces, we're now gearing up for the full moon. This is already going to start really clicking for people on Friday. This T-square putting pressure on this Mars in Gemini is maybe cutting something away. cutting something out. And it could be in the Gemini area of life, it could be in the Virgo area of life, it could also be in the Pisces area of life. But because of the full moon on Saturday the 10th, this is going to be a compassionate release, a compassionate ending. Read my community posts. I write about the astrology. So, you know, but in the opposition to Venus, something may just not feel right. Circumstances are not lining up with our internal environment. Something externally is just not vibing with how we're feeling inside. Got to make a change. Got to pull back in certain areas of life. Got to put more energy into other areas of life. And that's part of the transitions of this entire year, is figuring that out, following our hearts, going with the flow. That's why, you know, the end of July, beginning of August could have felt extremely destabilizing and very like too new. You know, it's like too much. It's just, or like wacky or like wild, you know. And so this full moon is going to help accept it, help transition a little bit, you know, easier, a little bit more soft. Not everyone likes to just jump in the pool. Some people like to just acclimate their feet, and then they're up to their knees, and then up to their thighs, and then, like, you know. So, you know, that end of July, beginning of August was more like we just jumped in the pool. So this full moon is going to help us sort of like, you know, get nice and temperature acclimated. Whew. But because Mercury stations retrograde on Friday, this is when shit really hits the fan in this area of your life. This Libra, Virgo area of your life, that is where it hits. That's like, no, we got to go back. No, wait, stop. You know, there's unfinished business to take care of for all of us in these areas of life. And what is this? Hold on. Okay, so a couple things about this Mercury retrograde. Sorry, I did not timestamp, but, you know, watch the video. It's cool. This Mercury retrograde, there's going to be 3 dates that Mercury's going to be in. Where are we? This is stationing retrograde at 8 degrees. So there's actually going to be retrograde leaves. Okay, the other time that we're going to be at the 8th degree of Libra is going to be October the 16th. October the 16th. So you're going to see all this so very differently from, like, on the picture, the snapshot of your life, Friday the 9th, and then again October 16th. Mentally, very different. The circumstances, situations will be very, 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 very different, and these things are going to be coming back up again. So Mercury stationing retrograde, look at the 8th degree of Libra in your chart and see where this is happening. This is where something smells rotten in the state of Denmark, and it needs your attention. It needs your attention. You've got to go back and take care of this. So that starts on Friday. It starts on Friday. And we're going to go back over all this stuff until Halloween, essentially. Then Mercury will station direct on October. Did I write that down right? October the 2nd, October 1st, October 2nd. Going to be direct. Wow. It's just the overlay of Mercury retrograde and Mars going to be retrograding, but in the shadow of Gemini, because it's very mental, very, very mental. So the mind is changing, the mind is elevating, and that's going to change what we're doing, because everything is going to be happening in the 5D first before it settles down into the 3rd dimension. So when your mental consciousness is changing, and that's this Mercury retrograde, it's changing your motives, your drives, what you're doing, what you're going after, what you care about, what's important to you. So of course, this is going to be relationships. This is also going to be personal development stuff and seeing relationships in a different light. So Mercury starts the retrograde on Friday the 9th. So whatever's coming up this weekend is probably going to be very karmic, maybe past life stuff. And, you know, in some cases, it's going back to something in order to either release it or to strengthen it with your faith and belief. Because honestly, this is like if you say you forgive someone, then it's done. Clean slate. You don't bring it up later. You don't pull it out in a fight with somebody. It's over. It's over. It's done. But it has to be honest. Otherwise, it does come up again. Okay. Saturday, September the 10th. Welcome to your full moon in the sign of Pisces. So that's going to be Saturday. Saturday is the full moon in Pisces, and it will be conjunct Neptune in Pisces, opposing the sun, of course. That's always what happens when there's a full moon, is that the moon is opposing the sun. It's very full, but remember, the moon is only reflecting the light of the sun. So you're actually going to see a lot more clearly that Virgo area of life, and something's going to be ending, coming to fruition, and it's going to be spilling out over the next couple of weeks until the 25th of September. Now they are making a T-square to this Mars in Gemini, which is stressful. This is again a big shift, a big change happening, and then all the pressure is going to be coming down onto that Mars in Gemini. Now, if you can see it here, there's a rectangle. This rectangle shape is a do-over. This is a karmic configuration. It is with Uranus and Taurus. It is the full moon. It is the sun, and it's the south node in Scorpio. So it's like double, triple, quadruple, quintuple fatedness. This is a past life energy, or this is at least ancestral karmic energy. You're here, you're alive, and you're dealing with this because it's time to deal with this. That you have not dealt with this in the past lifetime, maybe in this lifetime too, but it's coming up again. And like I said, think of the Pisces party in March. What were you really believing in? What were you having a lot of faith in? Because you were at a crossroads back then. Okay, I remember Mars and Venus traveled together in Aquarius, traveled together in Pisces. Venus was enclosed. Then we have the Venus-Saturn. So this full moon in Pisces is giving you the results and showing you the road you took and how it turned out. So you'll probably feel either extremely full of faith and belief and hope and relaxed energy. If it was the right thing for you, you'll feel relaxed. You will feel transcendental. You will feel peaceful. You will feel inspired, creative, spiritual, artistic. If it was not, this could, from the 10th to the 25th, it's the rose-colored glasses coming off, and you're going to get, down here, you're going to get the physical results, and you're going to see, oh my God, it's like you ordered something off of Amazon, and it doesn't, and you ordered it back in March, and you get it at the full moon, and it looks nothing like the picture. Looks nothing like the picture. Maybe the threads are all fucked up, or maybe, you know, it's just not the quality you thought it was. You just were so hopeful about it. It got maybe a good review, but it's like, now it does not look like the picture. That's all messed up. It doesn't work. It's broken. It's not the right color. The colors are off. It's not the color in the picture. You know, all of that kind of stuff. Keep that example in your mind for all of Pisces energy. Pisces and Neptune energy, that's always what it could be. Or it's like, this is not what I ordered. Not at all. So the Pisces full moon is going to bring this to light. It's going to bring it to fullness. So relationships, wherever this is happening in your life, wherever that Pisces area is, you're either going to be feeling extremely exalted in love. You know, you might be feeling very full of faith and belief. And because Mercury's retrograde, this could be about a past person, a past situation. But this can also be a very compassionate ending of a love, a very compassionate ending of something that was once a dream of yours that you are releasing. This could be the compassionate release and ending of a relationship that you really believed in, or that was really... Also look at, like I said, March, that the new moon type energy is bringing it to fullness 6 months later. So this Pisces full moon is going to tell you that it's okay to let go. It really is. It's okay to release the person. It's okay to release the dream. It's okay to release the home. It's okay to release the friendship. It's okay. It's okay. So there will be benefit through release. There will be benefit through surrender. There will be... Now, if you're feeling more like this is if it's not delusional. If it's not delusional and you're very inspired, you're artistic, you're very creative, you'll get the results tenfold. Because you surrendered and you've been trusting the past 6 months, this could bring a reward for your trust and your faith and your belief. But you'll see what it's like from the 10th to the 25th. Because it should be peaceful. You should feel relaxed or creative, inspired, spiritual. Because if it's not like that, then you're deluding yourself and you're telling yourself that it's great, it's fine. Or you're going to run away. Or, this Mercury retrograde is going to be relationship problems and issues coming up. So it might even be that some people need to work through relationship issues. But you'll have help to do that with the Pisces full moon, because it should be bringing a lot of emotion. First of all, this will be like a floodgate of emotion, a lot of compassion. So I don't have your very specific chart in front of me, so I don't know how it's going to work for you personally. I am telling you though that this T-square put this pressure on Mars and Gemini. It says you have to cut something out. You have to let something go to get what you really, if you really believe in it, if you really believe, you have to let something go. You have to cut something out. Gemini wants all the choices, wants all the options, but Mars in Gemini is cutting away the options. It's cutting away the choices. So it's time to decide here. So you either believe or you don't believe. And with the sun in Virgo lighting up this little area of your life, I feel like that is going to help being a little bit more practical about this. You might see either what needs a lot more work, like some attention to detail type stuff, or you might see some results if you've been putting in a lot of effort already the past 6 months. Because if it's not working, then this is going to be an emotional, compassionate release, because the devil's in the details. And something just doesn't work practically, or it just doesn't make sense. You're either starting to see, or you see more vividly and more sharply, the cracks. The cracks in the vase or the structure, and it's not integrity like you thought it was. It's not whole. This Virgo energy is like a freaking magnifying glass. You're like Blues. You don't even have to be Blues Clues. This is like, it's a compassionate release. It's a very emotional overflow type energy, because of the specificity with which you can see and the insight that you have into something in both of these areas of life, in the Pisces and Virgo area of life. And that's going to help you cut something out. It's going to help you cut something away. It's like the little pebble in the shoe that has undermined your comfort and your progress and your success trying to climb this big mountain. Now, the fact that we have the moon going to be crossing Neptune, and this full moon is going to be sextiling Uranus and Taurus, this is going to help support the changes that, like, you could see change. You already saw the change mid-July, end of July, beginning of August. You already saw the writing on the wall, like, oh shit, something's about to really change here. Okay, this is going to help you be very comfortable with that. Be much more comfortable. This could be a segue into like layering it in. It's like a new person that starts a job and totally disrupts the current team of people that are already in a groove. They already know each other. They've already been working together a long time. And this new person is like a bomb going off. Ooh, I hope I can say that. This new person is like, what? They're weird. They're different. They're weird and different. They just maybe don't fit in. And it's like they just started. So maybe it's like they don't get a lot of shifts. But this full moon is like, you know what? I've had some time to sit with it. We've gotten some time to kind of get used to this new energy. And now we see a spot for them. We see where they can really fit into this group. And this full moon could be layering that in. Now they're getting more shifts. Now they get more participation. Now they get included. Now they get to be more involved. Now people are opening up to this person. Now people are not so threatened by this person, or they're not so averse to this idea of this person being in the inner circle or the inner group. It's something like that. So just take that example, that analogy, and apply it to this the Taurus area of life is like that weird new person, you know, and then maybe this Virgo and maybe even the Aquarian area of life is like where it's like status quo, a little bit more status quo, and you're trying to, this Pisces energy is like helping layering this in. I see where this is going. I see where it can work. I see, and it's going to be inspiring. And again, it's going to be a little bit more relaxing. Like we'll be able to breathe a sigh of relief. Like, okay, we've had some time from the middle of July until the beginning of September to kind of not be edgy, but just observe. And like, okay, now we can kind of relax and be a little bit more comfortable with this new energy. Here's what I'm also seeing. You know, the T-square that comes down to this Mars and Gemini, and about cutting out an option, cutting out a path, cutting out things. This is not just like a quick transit. This is, Mars is going to be, you know, retrograding here, and it's going to be a 7-month stay. So this is going to be cutting things out that you really don't believe in. I want you to think about your priorities, because that's going to be what you really believe in. And it's a priority and you really believe in it when you relax. If you're relaxed about it, if you are relaxed, or you're in love, or you're calm, or you're creative, you know, that's what you want to do. That's really what the gift of this is bringing to you. That, okay, Virgo can be a little neurotic. We know, it's like Virgo wants to control physical things, like the little things. You know, Virgo loves doing taxes, does taxes freaking early, all of that, because it makes them feel like they have some control in their life. So they're always looking for things to do, always looking for little things to do, loves to work, loves to be productive, because it makes them feel good. It makes them feel like, okay, I got it under control, even though they never really feel like those little things help, but it's like you need the balance. You need the balance of the spirituality. You've got to do what you can with the day that you have of your life, and then you got to let it go and go to sleep. Release and let go, you know, surrender, go to sleep, dream. Let the subconscious, you know, really take over and take the wheel here. So this Mars energy, it's going to want to cut away. It's going to want to remove, and you might have some anxiety about that. You might have some nervousness. You might gaslight yourself. You might run calculations in your head over and over. But from that state of consciousness, you're never going to feel better. You're always going to find something to get critical about. You're always going to find something that just isn't quite perfect. You're always going to find something as an excuse or a reason why it can't. You got to have the faith here. You got to believe for the priority. For the priority, what's really important to you, what you care about, and what you really believe in. And then just trust it. You're going to have to trust it, and then you're going to be working it for the next 7 months. But for the stuff that is not a priority, you will see so glaringly obvious the little cracks that are going to undermine your success. The little cracks, the things that are going to eat away at this success of this venture or this relationship, the things that people have not forgiven in the relationship, things that are at an impasse in relationships, things that are just not working in relationships, with your work situation, the job, and the, you know, whatever that is. And, you know, this is the area also that's going to have, you know, Mercury stationing retrograde. Mercury's the ruler of Virgo, going to be going back into Virgo too. So it's a very powerful time to go back, to release and let go, but also to go back to a dream. If it's, so you really have to, I know I said like a lot of different things, so you're going to have to look at your chart and work it and see what's happening in your life and seeing what you really believe in. And because of this faded rectangle here, the South Node is connected. Also, that's right, the full moon is actually trining the South Node. It's part of this rectangle configuration. So this is a huge flush. Now, maybe it's flushing relationship issues or flushing work issues, confidence issues, however this is happening, flushing that out so that you can believe, so that you can move to the future, so you can implement change in your life. And for some people, this can be such a karmic return of people in your life, or a rejuvenation, revitalization of a dream, a revitalization of a relationship, a revitalization of sexuality, a revitalization of, so Mercury retrograde and retrogrades in general, they're not all bad. You just have to work it. You just have to work it from the greatest level of consciousness that you can possibly be in the moment. And then let it go. Okay? Just let it go. Do what you can and then let it go. Okay. So that's your full moon in Pisces. Happy full moon in Pisces. That's going to play out and you're going to see the results. So if you're trying to work something that's not working, you're going to be very disillusioned now. Like if you've been trying to get something going for 6 months and you're going to see how it's not working from the 10th to the 25th. And you're going to see where you really need to change, where you really need to level up, where you really need to answer to the challenge, where you really need to go back to your own self. This Mercury retrograde, go back to your own self and make some changes so that you can make better decisions and put your energy into better places and use your energy in a more responsible, aware, conscious way. Sunday the 11th. Everyone say happy birthday to my mother. She is a Virgo. She is a September 11th Virgo. Everyone comment below. Happy birthday, Carol. Carol. Thank you very much. Happy birthday, Mom. Okay, so on Sunday, September the 11th, we have the moon now in Aries conjuncting this. Look at all this over here. We have the moon in Aries conjuncting Jupiter. It's going to eventually pass Chiron. It's going to be opposing the Mercury now retrograde in the sign of Libra. It's going to be sextiling over to this Mars in Gemini. And then we're also going to have the sun in Virgo trining Uranus. Like how freaking cool is that? So just a couple days ago on Thursday the 8th, the sun trined the North Node. Okay, direction, destiny, hunger, thirst. And now we're going to have the sun trining Uranus, change, liberation, revolution. Okay. So on Sunday, it's a major shift of energy after the Pisces outpouring. Like it's whatever the realizations are, whether the realization that you've been disillusioned, that you've been chasing false rainbows, and you can see all of the problems that have been undermining your success for 6 months and that will only persist, and that you've got to release and you've got to let it go, that's going to be emotional. If something is coming back from the past, a dream, a person, a love, a creative idea, whatever, you're going to feel so emotional about that. And it's going to take you by storm and it's going to be emotional. Okay, this full moon is a very emotional, watery, wet, humid, fertile full moon. Okay, so it's very, very emotional, and it's a transcendental emotional energy. How do we do the growth? How do we change? How do we make progress? How do we evolve? Is through the emotions and being the awareness behind the awareness and observing when it happens. You observe your emotions through the body. You feel the emotions in the body. Okay, the body, whatever your body is, it's your subconscious. Subconscious mind is like 95% of the mind, and what you are consciously doing with your life is only using 5% of your mind, of your ability. So that's why I say, like, when things are happening to us, that's a subconscious projection, and it's really important to pay attention to. Really take a look at that Mercury retrograde video that I did. It's through all the 12 signs. I go super deep into why Mercury retrograde is so important, because it's showing us what we really need to focus on and go back to it and develop it to make it better. But we don't get that opportunity because we're just like living life until the Mercury retrograde comes around. Then it's like, okay, boom. Now I've got, you're putting things off. Let's say you're putting off paying your parking tickets or other tickets, and you're like putting off. Mercury retrograde hits, boom, you get the boot on your car. You are not doing anything. You're not going to see your girlfriend. You're not going to work. You're not going to see cousin so-and-so. You're not going to get drinks. No, you've got to go figure out how to get this boot off, or your car gets, something. That's Mercury retrograde. So where was I? So on Sunday with the moon conjuncting Jupiter, this is nice. This is nice to help you feel a whole different perspective shift. So you've just had this very emotional time, this past coming back, a resurgence, mentally looking at something and seeing seeing the same thing from a different level of consciousness, having to deal with something. Okay, now the moon is in a fire sign, and it's a very different vibe. Conjuncting Jupiter retrograding in the sign of Aries, it's going to be conjuncting Chiron as well. This is going to help you emotionally connect to a different perspective. You may be reconnecting with a mentor. You may be reconnecting with a student. You may be going back to improve your philosophy, improve your understanding of the world, of your life, of other people's lives, of everything inside of it. So circumstances that change could also be something that broadens your vision, broadens your perspective on your own life, of how you see something going. Now, in the opposition to Mercury, again, it's going to stimulate the mind, but this is also very relationship energy. So that moon crossing Jupiter, opposing Mercury in Libra, it says that you do have to do a little bit of balancing. It's going to be, you've got to take a look at your needs. You know, that moon in Pisces, that full moon in Pisces, is very porous, lack of boundaries, but you're able to transcend. Hopefully there's not a lot of overdoses this weekend. This could be a very violent weekend of violence, overdoses, or even just not seeing clearly, as like literally, like you might be driving in the rain and get into a car accident, or there could be, you know, especially with the T-square to Mars, like any kind of violence would be delusional, like God made me do it, and like go shootings or stabbings or something sharp. If people are hurting each other with words, they will be very sharp words. They will be careful with that. Okay. But that full moon in Pisces can be, like I said, it can be delusional. It can be very off, but it's like they believe it. It's like you will really believe whatever this is showing you. And when the reality butts up against what you believe, that's when you've got to reassess. And that's what this Mercury retrograde the day before is saying. So it's like, if people don't want to grow, they will just keep deluding themselves. That's just what this is. So you may be at an impasse with someone, and it'll just be a stalemate because everyone's going to believe you're not going to see it the same way. And you just have to let that might be something you're cutting out too. But as far as, you know, violence, this could be accidents as well. This could be, like I said, you just no visibility if you're driving, so be very careful. And overdoses. This could be also, for some people, a really sharp diagnosis. This could be STDs, be very careful. This could be contracting, this could be like a viral thing, you know, all of that stuff. So that stuff too. So be careful of alcohol, be careful of alcohol abuse. That's like such an unfortunate way to use Neptune Pisces energy, is escape through drugs and alcohol. So just be careful. I want the best for you guys. So, you know, there's all of this no boundary energy. Hopefully you're able to use this very constructively and evolve through feeling of the emotion. That is what the evolution is. That is how you're doing the work, is through the emotions and talking to those emotions. Watch the vlog, How to Heal and Move On, for more information on that. The moon in Aries, which is what I keep trying to talk about, is that's right. So opposing Mercury in Libra, you've got to hold the tension. You are going to want to balance your needs with your perception of these relationships. So you don't want to give. So this is probably on Sunday going to be a balance. So if you've been giving too much of yourself away, and you've been compromised, if you've been over compromising, that Saturn does not want, is going to be kind of harsh on you about that. If you've been over compromising, this is going to be a day when you get to pull that back and say, I'm not taking your kid anymore, or I'm not doing this for you anymore, or I'm not coddling you anymore. You know, you get to take some of your boundary back on Sunday. Now, if you've been too selfish and you've been too self-centered and you've been ignoring everything else, and then this is going to be the opposite, where you're like, okay, let's work this out. Let me compromise. Let me try to find a compromise. Let's both figure out, let's meet in the middle here. Now you may decide that you're too far apart and there is no meeting in the middle, but that's going to be individual for everybody. That sextile over to Mars, though, is going to help cut away. It's going to help cut away. It's going to give you motivation. It's going to give you perspective. And like I said, conjuncting that Jupiter retrograde, there could also be circumstances changing that are of benefit to you. Like that could be kind of lucky, but from something that you've already done in the past, someone you already know, something that's worked previously, or maybe something that you weren't able to do in the Aries area of your life, but you're able to do it now because you've got the cosmic support. Also on Sunday, that moon in, like I said, the sun, like I said, in Virgo is going to be trining over to Uranus in Taurus retrograde. So again, more is coming together for you. Details are coming together. Surprise details are coming together. So if it's not for you, if it's not right for you, and it's a compassionate release, this is going to help you on that new path. This is going to help give you support and details and, you know, a great new staff member, a great new teammate, a great new resource, a better home situation. You know, all of that is going to support this new path unfolding for you. And it could be a surprise. It could be just like, wow, that really came together perfectly. It's supporting that. It's supporting, it's giving you the, and that's what Saturn does. That's what Saturn's doing, and is, you know, it's going to be taking things away to make you more self-sufficient. But then by now, you, like I'm saying, like you should have more tools. You should see in the Aquarius area of life where it's still hard, maybe, you know, where it's still difficult, or how much work you still have, but you have the tools by now. You have everything you need to make that Saturn a success from now until spring of 2023. So if people are still feeling sorry for themselves and not making it work, over relying on something else, this is going to be a very painful fall for you. So the sun in Virgo trining over to Uranus is things are coming together. And if you're trying to make something and you're trying to be forcing something to work, those cracks shatter. This is like shattering, just fuck it all up, you know, just shatter it all up. It's like seeing all those cracks and trying to just put more pressure onto it and not fixing those cracks. It depends. It's like you can't cram. It's too late to cram. This full moon, you've had 6 months of work to fix those cracks. You know how they do the gold stuff on the cracks? It's like you had 6 months to put the gold, to reinforce it with the pretty gold thing. And so you're going to get that from the 10th to the 25th. You're going to see it's like, okay, we filled the cracks with gold. Now it's great and strong and sturdy. It's even better than before. Or it's just going to shatter. And this moon in, I keep saying that, this sun in Virgo trining over to Uranus and Taurus is going to help shatter where there are no little gold things. Or it's going to bring, if you've already, you know, okay, I have this emotional, compassionate release, this is going to help you on the new path. This is going to help encourage you for that next step. And there can be like some surprise resources, some, you know, physical great things coming together. This was like the longest freaking horoscope ever. Okay. Let's move into the tarot. Okay. Let's take a look at the week ahead for you guys. What can we expect in this week ahead? My pen's away, my jelly rolls. Okay. What do we need to know about this? This is, oh, I can't do it. I even missed that. This is a very psychic week too. It's a very, you're building up towards a very psychic, and that's really what psychic means, is having like, it's almost like having another limb. You know, like you have the 5 senses, the psychic ability, everyone's born psychic. People like me, Matt Fraser, who else? What's her name? Can't think of her name right now. But, you know, we're just still psychic. So this could be a full moon that really reconnects you with your psychic ability, or expands your psychic ability, or aligns you on a very fated and destined path for you. So there could be very, very psychic stuff happening for everybody from the 10th to the 25th, and even leading up to the 10th as well, like this week. Visions coming through your imagination, visions coming through your dreams. Everyone's different. Everyone has their own connection, so try not to judge it. Ooh. I like how we're starting with the Six of Wands. Very successful. There's something very attractive. There's something that's working very well here. I like this too because there's like this entourage energy where you have your people. So, you know, this Aquarius, oh, I moved it, it's not the same. This Aquarius energy is, like I said, new people coming into your life, new groups, but also firming up or deleting old groups or old friends and old responsibilities, old alliances, old allegiances. It's just stress testing. So I like that we're starting here to see this entourage, these people, these allies. You know, a lot of you have support in some area of your life that supports where you're trying to go in the future. And you have the Chariot. Very successful. Follow your heart. Don't stress. If you really believe, if the faith and all of that, it should be relaxed. You should be relaxed. If it's real, if that's how you know if your faith or your belief is real. If you really believe in something, you relax. Let it go. Both of my parents are Virgos. You could think about something and just run it over. You can ask the same question over and over again. And you can just spiral. So this should be a nice counterweight, a counterbalance that should help people just let go. Give it up to Source, God, Universe, Krishna, whatever the great intelligence behind all manifest, whatever it is, let it go. And when you do, when you trust, that's really what the faith and belief is when you trust. If you just trust, that's when you relax. But you know if you really trust because you're not relaxed. When you're not relaxed, you don't have faith and you don't trust. When you're relaxed, you know that you do have faith and you do trust. Then you're in the creation mode and you're happy. You create your happiness. Okay, I'm not going to digress. Let's see. What else do we need to convey? What message am I here to deliver? Let's see. We've got the Nine of Swords. Not surprised to see this at all. Because people are going to be tweaking out this week. It's going to be like a high anxiety. So if people are tweaking out this week, their full moon in Pisces is going to be kind of like a breakdown, like a forced. Okay, so there could be like forced faith where it's like the sky is falling and you might really feel like out of control or like things are very topsy-turvy. The world is turned upside down. You might feel like in a real crisis situation. And it's like forced faith, but you're not going to feel relaxed and you're not going to feel like you have faith, but there's going to be some crisis, there's going to be something blowing up. Especially if you've been working something, if you made a real strong distinction in the spring of this year and that road wasn't the right one, then this is going to come crashing down. It's survivable. It's survivable, okay? Okay. Nine of Swords, and I'm going to take all this too, because I would have clarified this. We're going to clarify this anyway, but I would have, oh gosh. So we have the Knight of Swords, the Two of Swords, the Five of Cups, and we have the Fool. These big changes, the success, the happiness, it's not going to be convenient. Not for the person I'm channeling. It's not going to be convenient at all. It's not going to be neat. It's not going to be even totally clear. The Fool is our spirit before stepping down into a manifested body. It's the soul. And the soul is really free. The soul is just divine and limitless. So you're in your body, you've been in your body, you have the, most people, we all have the amnesia from the truth, and you know, but we all have the connection, but we're born with the amnesia for a reason, so that we can grow and evolve through the incarnated experience. So you're sort of like getting this flashback. God, look at all that mental energy. All of the mental energy is really freaking out. Logic is just scrambled. You're like, it's like flying a plane, because the pilots don't like know where they're going. They have communication from, I think it's like air traffic controllers, and those people in the towers communicate to the pilots like what's going on and where to go and like what to do, like all that stuff. So this is like your air traffic controller is like freaking out and having a breakdown and totally freaking about the conditions and the flight path and like everything. Emotionally, there's some sadness, there's some regret, there's some kind of loss. You might not even, this might even be feeling bad about something from a long time ago. It's almost like focusing on the thing that didn't work. There's something about, but you know, it's coming up. Like it's coming up to give it a second chance, or a new breath, or a fresh start. Something's bothering you about it though. Something's really bothering you about, something's just not going to sit right with you this week. It's just not. And you're not going to feel better until you address it, maybe talk about it, or do something different. We're going to open that up more. We are. All right, let's get one more energy. What's going on? What message am I here to deliver? Got this. Thank you. Queen of Wands. It's the Queen of Wands, and the bottom of the deck is Temperance, and the Four of Cups, and the Wheel of Fortune. Oh my God, I'm getting tired just thinking about this week for you. We have one person. Well, we have a. Okay, so there's Queen of Wands. Overall, massive changes, big shifts, and like a light switch. I mean, just on, off, on. Okay, very, very drastic changes in your fates, and your circumstances, and your destinies, and your opportunities that come into your life. All of that. And with the Four of Cups being, it's just, now emotionally you will be coming into balance this week, but it's going to be because of some big change, some big 180-degree shift. Now for some of you, this could be assuaging some feelings of exclusion, some feelings of rejection, some feelings of maybe even unworthiness or apathy, or, you know, something could just really change on a dime with that. And it brings the emotional part of you into a much more peaceful balance, where you can relax, but there's going to be this big turn. And this Queen of Wands has some kind of role to play. I love that one too. Ooh, okay, so someone has something with the fox. It's like a fox, because this is jumping out. This fox, look at her neck. She's got this fox like on her. I really want you to see this. Wait. On her neck, she's got this fox necklace. And that is going to resonate with someone. So you have a fox necklace, or you have fox earrings, or you have something with a fox, but something you can wear. Okay, that's going to be someone's confirmation. Tell me about the Six of Wands. What do we need to know about the Six of Wands? It's a lot. Double Five of Cups. Eight of Pentacles, Five of Cups, the World, and the King of Pentacles. So we have more players on the scene. Okay. Eight of Pentacles, Five of Cups, the World, King of Pentacles. Wow, this is huge. This is letting go, cutting losses, moving forward, you know, letting go of mental stress, understanding where you are emotionally, maybe understanding that you really are not over something, or that you really have not gotten past something, or that emotionally you have a blockage or something. Understanding all of that, making peace with it, really making peace with it, and being mature. I wonder if that was my phone. Being mature about this. And honestly, the Two of Cups is what I'm getting with all of this, which is what you make of it, what's left over, what is... There's something there. There's still an opportunity. There's still something for you to gain. There, you know, like there's something... This is almost like if you meet someone that you really like, and let's say you just don't date a lot, or you don't meet people. Like I think I have great taste. I have amazing taste in people. It's like a couple of really bad moments, like a couple of really off in people, like just totally off. But like aside from like those couple of, they are the exceptions. The rule is that I have great taste in people, you know. But you know, I haven't been in like these big relationships. It's just one relationship that was like a big relationship. So it would be like, you know, either you've never been in love, or you just don't fall in love frequently, or you just don't date. Like I don't date. I'm not like any, if you date like you're any type of person. I'm just saying, like I don't know, it just doesn't happen. I kind of just work a lot. So, you know, it's almost like you either never fell in love or never date, you know, something like that. And then you meet someone that you like you're being stimulated, okay? Like you're being activated. But maybe because it's real and because it's like very good and very positive, maybe that is what it is that makes you really realize some other work that you have to do, or some blockages that you have. And it's not, sometimes just becoming aware of something is enough to alchemize the energy and release us of its detrimental effects. Because what you hide from yourself, what you hide from other people, you hide from yourself. And or what you hide from yourself controls you. That is your subconscious. That is your reality that you're projecting out with 95% of your mind. Okay? So I feel like this is coming up, either a blockage or a resentment or a sadness or depression, you know, or a, you know, something. But for whoever it is I'm channeling, I feel like just being aware of it is enough to change your level of consciousness and break out of that, because of the world. The world is here to close it up. So, you know, think about it, feel what you have to feel about it. And I think you'll be fine this week. I feel like this is because it's clarifying the Six of Wands. Like that is like victory, you know, it's like you did it, you're overcoming this. And this world energy is also karmic, it's also Saturn, it's also rewards. All right, so you've already been, you know, maybe you dated some unsavory choices, you know, or maybe you've had some experiences, you picked the wrong friends, or you dated the wrong people, whatever, and and it's like, oh wow, that's why I did that, or oh wow, this low self-esteem made me choose wrong, made me to pick a bad choice or whatever it was. And it's like, okay, learn from that. Now there's someone outstanding. This person that you're, if that example resonates for you, this is someone that has, this could be someone, or it's you. They take a very long time to come to a decision about that kind of a thing. Business, finances, or relationships, they're life decisions, big life decisions. They take their time. This is earth sign energy. They don't have to be a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising. They can be, doesn't have to be. They take their time because they're not going to waste their time. They know how precious the present moment is. Building generational wealth, financial literacy, so much of it depends on making decisions in the present moment to set you up for the long term, because so many people that don't have financial literacy, that don't have generational wealth, they make decisions based on present moment. They don't DCA, they don't, like there's, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, this is you, or this is someone you're connecting to. There's someone in your field that you can learn from, or that can help you with this. This is about taking your time, making a decision. This person's also very secure. They have their own kingdom. They have their bills paid. They have their shit together. They have their organization. They have their, you know, it's like they really have their physical realm. Guys, I've been working with Metatron since late last year. Oh my God, my physical reality has changed. It's just been intense. If any of you guys work with Metatron, let me know in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell for notifications so that you always get your messages. This King of Pentacles is very Metatron energy for me, because it's about mastering your physical reality, mastering your manifestation technique, getting every duck in the row, okay? So this is success with that. There's some part of someone's physical reality that gets to, you know, make sense, get nice and solid, some kind of success, some kind, you know, this is maybe someone's job, especially with the Eight of Pentacles. It's like, you know, you tried to get something going in the past, didn't work. Now this is your reward because you've put in the freaking work, and you've put in the work in yourself, and like all that stuff. So let's take a look at this Chariot. This is very successful. This is when I read for athletes, people that are in a competitive anything, and I get the Chariot. You guys are going to win. You're going to win the tournament. You're going to win the trophy. You're basically just going to win. More people. And it's the Queen of Swords and the Eight of Wands. Wow. This person's going to make all the difference. This is almost like taking your success. You're successful in your little, I don't know if it's like a niche or your life or a marriage relationship. There's some good, solid success there. This person is Queen of Swords. They don't have to be Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising. They can be, they don't have to be. But this is someone that's going to take it to a next level. This is where you may be more competitive as well. So this would be like, she's giving me this SAG-AFTRA stuff. So if you're a non-union actor, okay, non-union, you work jobs, you don't get residuals, you don't get, maybe it's like deferred payment or some shit, you know, it's like, you know, whatever. But when you go union, when you go SAG-AFTRA, automatically you are now competing with the best actors there are. You're now competing with extremely competitive, professional actors. I remember when I got my SAG card, it was for a Sony commercial. And I was so like, you know, like very, very excited to be, honestly, because I'm a, you know, Capricorn Sun, Aquarian Moon, Mars and Aries, and I like to beat myself. I like to best myself. I don't need any other inspiration. I have my own personal, like, I'm like self-competitive or something, like self-motivated. So something like that made me feel really good. Like, I love to think like, oh, I'm going against the best. Like, we're all like, let's do this. You know, if I win a contest, I want to know that I beat out the best writers or the best actors or the best whatever I'm competing. I want to know that we're all the best. You know what I'm saying? And that we're all competing against our own selves for the best that we can do in that moment. So I feel like this Queen of Swords could be a professional. This could be a strategist. This could be an advisor. This could be like even like a lawyer or somebody. Somebody here is helping you be really competitive and maybe even compete at a higher level in life, in your business, in your work. they're able to, and this could be someone really great with words specifically, negotiations specifically, strategy specifically, especially with the Chariot here. And you know, there could be this could be a very busy week for you with this Eight of Wands. This could be, or you know, if that's you, you're someone here. This is like a lot of changes. The circumstances and the situation, a lot of changes could be happening fast. Maybe you're putting bid on houses and you, boom, got it. Or, you know, like you just, something could be happening pretty fast and it's like boom, 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 boom. Very, very quick, successful. Okay. Okay, let's open all of this up. Let's start doing the energy work over here. There's a lot of stressful mental anxiety, worry that you're doing the wrong thing, worry that you're taking, okay, there's a risk and there's taking a chance. You're like worried that this chance is a risk. It's sort of like mentally you're conflating issues, you're conflating things. You're not really able to see clearly because you're not in the emotional state. You're never going to think beyond your emotion. If you're not spiritually aligned with yourself, if you're not spiritually in a frequency of heart coherence, if you're not calm, loving, and faith and belief, your mind's going to be all messed up. And the decisions that you're making, you're going to make bad decisions. You're just, all of us, it's not just you, it's me too. Everyone, all of us are going to be, you know, making decisions because of like worry or fear, anxiety, low self-esteem, doubts, resentments, or like whatever. Like it's, so there's all of that happening surrounding. You might even have an opportunity. This is taking maybe a job that you're like, oh my God, I'm worried, I'm scared, or jumping into a relationship and like, oh my God, I'm jumping into a relationship, it's the wrong thing. It's like it's like convoluted here. Okay, so it's all, honestly looking super, super successful. So this might just be anxiety and feeling like, you know, emotional about, you're emotionalizing your intellect, intellectualizing your emotions, but like to the negative. So let's do some energy work. What's this? Nine of Swords, the Five of Cups, the Fool, the Two of Swords, and the Knight of Swords. It's that. It is this King of Wands. And now we have the pair. This is the good looking couple too. This is my Evie O'Connell and Rick O'Connell from The Mummy and The Mummy Returns. I did not see any after that, just the Brendan Fraser and the Rachel Weisz ones. So this is that couple. This is like, they look good. Okay, you guys look good together. This is like, I don't know if this is someone that is good for your brand, or this is like the face of something, or this is like your personal life, but this looks good, okay? This is like, you got style, you complement each other, okay? It looks good. This is great. And you know what's interesting? I love that the King of Wands came out to clarify this, because this is doing it before you're ready. Not faking it till you make it. You're doing something, like you're taking action. This is divine masculine energy. This is confidence. This is, I trust my heart, and I trust taking action on a higher vibration. And even if I'm a little nervous, even if I bombed before, I learned from it. And I'm going to make this work, and this is going to be great. Because I believe in myself. That's what's really great about fire sign energy. It's very confident. It's very confident. It's very self-appreciative. It's also very good looking. It's also very charismatic. I just did a TikTok about Venus was trining my Venus over the weekend on Saturday, and it was so amazing. I drove my grandmother. I was helping a family member move out of state, and I drove my grandmother across state lines. And it was so that Mercury Jupiter opposition, that's out of proportion, right? That is just like so big and so expansive. And, you know, I was warning you guys and on my Patreon, like, oh, be careful of people overpromising, and be careful of people lying, and be careful of, like, you know, but, you know, for me, it was like this expansive energy of love and my relationship with my grandma, and, you know, just like feminine relationships. It was so nice. She's an Aquarius. She's an Aquarius with her moon in Cancer, and I am a Cancer rising with my moon in Aquarius. So we just get along like two little peas in a pod. And it was just really, really nice. And she shared like stories that I had never heard before of my family, my origins. So like that Venus trining my Venus was so nice. And I have my Venus in Sagittarius, conjunct the galactic center, and Venus is in Leo, was on Leo on Saturday. It's later degrees. So it was just really, it was really great. We had a lot of fun. It was really, really, really cool. So, you know, it's like this, it's very energizing. It's very productive from the heart space, but it's like the moving heart, where like water is very like you're within the middle of your heart, whereas like fire sign heart energy, I feel like it's heart in motion. You know, like think about like the best pop stars. The best pop stars are like dancers that are just like, you know, that Sagittarius energy is great. They make great pop stars. Sagittarius sun moon risings, it's very, you know, they're usually like the makeup people, really good with makeup, very, you know, like they do it great. They really, really, really do. So, you know, this is like, yeah, I'm worried. Yeah, I don't have all the answers. You know, yeah, it's going to be a little bit freaky, or, you know, who knows? Or yeah, I remember when I tried this before and I fell flat on my face, but you know what? I'll hate myself if I don't try. I have to try. I have to do it. I have to just I have to bet on myself. Fire sign energy will always bet on themselves. Like even if something didn't work out, even if they're nervous or scared or it's not all put together perfectly yet. And that's what's so great about that fire energy, is that it propels you forward. Whereas if this is like lower vibe Earth, practical energy, it never gets done. Virgo is never going to do anything because they're going to be so in their mind about it. Opportunities are going to pass them by. Capricorn, never going to do anything about it because they're holding in and they're just like scared of everything. What's it called? Like the Four of Pentacles, like just, you know, never going to do it. Taurus could never be making a move. Taurus will never do anything because they have to just keep on going as it is and continue the status quo, and they're going to let opportunities pass them by because they're too afraid to change and evolve into a better status quo. Taurus is going to eat the same freaking oatmeal for like 35 years even if they don't like it, because that's what their spouse is serving them in the morning. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we need fire energy. I can say all that because I'm a Capricorn. So, you know, I really do like to see this because this is going to give you some confidence to just like do it. Do it before you're ready, and you're, you know, but betting on yourself. Betting on yourself to figure it out. Betting on yourself to figure it out. And have fun in the process. It's not going to worry. You're not going to worry too much. Once you get over that initial leap of faith, once you get there, then you'll make it, you'll figure it out. You'll take it, you know, piece by piece. So this is like right before that decision. This is right before that hill, right before that, you know. So I like this. I really like this partnership for business too, because this is like that hard working, this is my middle class queen, okay? This is like, these people will really work very hard. They are very passionate. Their heart is in, it's emotion. Remember that heart, that fire energy is that heart in motion. They got to do something. So it's like, I really like this energy, whoever this is, because they're going to do it. Even when they're in fear, even when they are emotionally insecure, even when they don't know what's going to happen, even when they're at a crossroads, even when they're in a stalemate, even when, you know, all of that, they're going to take action. They're going to go. I'm kind of a different Capricorn because I have my Mars in Aries and it trines my Venus in Sagittarius, so I'm more impulsive. I am more impulsive than like your traditional Capricorn. I don't regret it. I never regret it. But for me, it's my curiosity, and maybe that's my moon Mercury in Aquarius, but when I was watching The Last Dance, Michael Jordan, and at the end, he's like, I have to know. It just kills me. Like, I just don't know. I have to try because I just have to know. Even if I fail, I just have to know. He's an Aquarius, by the way. That's exactly how I feel. So maybe it is my moon Mercury in Aquarius. I would rather fail and fall flat on my fucking face rather than not know. To me, that is the fate worse than death. It's to not know. I have to know. I have to try my best at whatever state of consciousness I happen to be in when the thing is there or the opportunity. Like, I just have to know. I have to try. I have to try and figure it out. I have to, but I can't just, oh, that would haunt me. That would really, really, really haunt me. Personally, like as a person. So that's why I like this King of Wands and this Queen of Wands over here. It doesn't haunt earth signs usually, because they like to keep the status. They would rather just stay the same a little bit more. Virgo's probably the better one out of the 3 earth signs that might, if they can overcome the nervousness or the anxiety or, you know, fears, if they can get there, then they're probably going to be more successful. Capricorns and Taurus are a little bit more status. You know what? I am going to relate so great. The generation after Gen Z, like the pandemic babies, everyone born in 2020, those kids are going to freaking love me. They're going to step into my YouTube channel and then take down the cobwebs in like 10 or 20 years, and they're going to fucking love me. You know why? Because they're going to have a stellium in Capricorn. They're going to have a traditional streak about them, but it's going to be so different and unique. They're going to build the fucking future. Okay? So I know everything's crumbling. Shit's crumbling all over the world right now. That's going to continue. And, you know, those pandemic babies are going to be super resilient. Not because of that, but because of the stellium in Capricorn. And they're going to freaking love me. I'm very excited to mentor that wave of people coming through. Okay, let's take a look at this Queen of Wands. And I completed high school through correspondence school. So that's a unique scholastic experience. That's also going to help me really connect and relate to those, to the kids that had to stay home. Anyway, okay, let's take a look at the Queen of, thank you. Okay. Queen of Wands. Oh my gosh. We have the mom energy. We have the Empress. Speaking of kids, speaking of children, speaking of little bitty babies, we got the Empress here. This is mom energy. I'm getting totally, when I just mom energy. Mom energy. I love this. Someone could be pregnant, so if that is not what you want, use protection. That's your responsibility. Be so careful on this full moon in Pisces. People are going to get diagnoses of like stuff, you know, like, remember it's no boundaries. So you might be, something got into you that you did not give permission. You didn't allow this virus to be in your body, but it got in somehow. Maybe because your boundaries were very relaxed and you just, I'm better, guys. I'm not wearing the gloves anymore when I go out. Okay, but some of you are getting pregnant, or some of you are, something's going on. You may be deciding to become pregnant. You might be starting or giving birth creatively to something, some kind of, you know, pregnancy is of the mind, what you give birth to mentally, like when you're writing, what you give birth to emotionally when you begin, you know, a great love story, a great love affair. And then of course physically, when you physically, for people that do that they do that. So this looks like a really fantastic team over here. Oh my God, if this is a business decision, and you take a leap of faith here, you take this chance, this opportunity is coming in, you take this chance with somebody else, it's going to be way more successful than you thought. You have nothing to worry about. And I'm really confident in your confidence, because someone's going to act even though they're a little bit like, ooh, you know, they're still going to take action. And that's what I fucking love about you, whoever this is. And it's going to be way successful. This is a very feminine, you know, the Empress has all of the queens inside of her. And so the one that's moving forward to operate is the Queen of Wands. So it's very confident, very luscious, and very, it's kind of like pizzazz, you know, like style, really good, confident, you know, got it together. And honestly, this is a great manifester. This is a great creator. This is a great creator. I manifested something over the weekend, kind of like this, and it was kind of very, I'm telling you, I'm under the tutelage of Metatron right now, and it's just been very eye-opening, but also very successful. And so doing more physical stuff has been really, really fascinating. So the Empress clarifying this Queen of Wands says also that if this is someone new, like if you're bringing on, if you're hiring and you bring on and you're onboarding someone, this is a scrappy person. This is someone that makes their own luck. They make their opportunity. They make a job for themselves. They look at something and they see, you know what, you could really use this and I can do this for you. And hey, I'll do a little bit of work for free. And hey, if you like it, maybe you keep me on, I'll work at a lower wage. You know, they make their own opportunity, even when there's nothing there. They work with what, see, people think, oh, I need money to do something. No, you don't. People think I need $10,000 to start a business. No, you don't, especially in 2022. My grandfather sat outside waiting for a job to open up every day, took his lunch until the guy was like, what are you still doing here? And he's like, I'm waiting for a position to open up. And when you're hiring, you said you weren't hiring. I'm gonna wait till you start hiring. Okay, fine, come on in. Okay, like honestly, for real, in 2022, if you're still insecure about that kind of a thing, you can freaking order anything off of your phone nowadays, like, and get 1 day shipping or so. You know, like you gotta be, the scrappiness of the past with meeting the technology of right now. There's no reason, there's no excuse. You can solve any problem. You've got to be in the solution mindset. That's what I also like about fire signs, is it's like solution. Let's focus on the solution. They don't want to waste time feeling the problem. They don't sit in that feeling. That's why this person, this King of Wands, this could be divine masculine energy. This could be, you know, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising. Does not have to be. It can be, or you might have some fire in your chart, whatever. It does not have to be, but it's doing it. It's going. It's seeing opportunity. This Fool energy. This is a new chance. It's seeing the opportunity and saying, I can do this. I can, you know, having that self-confidence. So whatever problems you have, you can solve them this week. You can absolutely figure this out. There's every reason to succeed. There's every reason why you can be happy and successful and get all that you want and all of the things, whether you want healing or love or a relationship or a business or financial abundance, like whatever it is, you can figure it out. You can figure out that solution. You can brainstorm. You can do it. So this might be entrepreneurial too. You know, this might be someone kind of, because this is a king. This is not like a Knight of Wands, which would tell me that's just a solution coming through. It's a King of Wands. So you're kind of used to this already. You're kind of used to trying things, having it not work out, having some things work out, learning from mistakes, moving forward. Like you already kind of are like that, or this person is rather, okay? And then with this Queen of Wands, there might be resources, additional resources that this person brings into your situation. How cool is that? They might be able, like I'm telling you, like this might be someone just creating their own job, creating an opportunity, great ideas, 10 more where that came from. They have this abundance of something, whether it's motivation or energy or drive or ideas or creativity or children or passion or fertility or this or that or whatever. Like they have a lot of it. And they make it themselves. They generate it from themselves. They don't think, oh, I gotta wait for this. I gotta wait for this. I need this first. I gotta have that first. I need this person to validate me. I need this person to make a promise to me. No, 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 no. They make it themselves. So I like you people. This is Evie and Rick O'Connell. I wanna watch those movies now. I love those movies so much. Should we clarify this? Oh, am I getting my lipstick everywhere? No, I think we're good here. This Wheel of Fortune is going to pop. I feel like this is going to bring you some kind of opportunity or bring you a person or something. Let's just go ahead and get this is a very long video. This is maybe like my longest video, my longest weekly. I'm so chatty. Okay. Any guidance There is guidance, thank you. Bottom of the deck, the Cardinal. Stand tall and proud. See the leadership role unfolding ahead of you. So, very leadership. Very, very, very leadership energy here. You're a leader, they're a leader, two leaders, multiple leaders. Leadership role. Oh, some of you are getting promoted. Some of you are getting into a position. That's what this is for some of you. Or taking, if you have like a business, like next level stuff for your business. And the Huron, let go of convention and follow your own unique path. I'm trying to get close to you guys. Let go of convention and follow your own unique path. That's very entrepreneurial, totally doing your own, writing your own script. Okay, that's pretty clear. Okay, I love you guys. Take very good care. I will check in on you guys next time. Until then, many beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful heads, darlings.